Was it, will it ever be the Manon show? Because here's the thing, throughout the whole season of 90 Day Fiancé, Manon has come out on social media, that being IG, to make it known that this season is only interesting because she's been on it. This season is only interesting whenever she's on screen, which was definitely not true, because there's a lot of times when her being on screen was nothing but a snooze fest. But also on top of that, we have noticed her throughout the whole season display a victim mentality. Whenever anything would go down with her and her partner, it was always a case of me, 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 me. And the maddest thing about it, it was always about you're treating me like this, or it's me that is providing money for us. Okay? It was always staged to the fact that it had to revolve around herself. Now, don't get me wrong, there were definitely certain times when her partner would low-key gaslight her, and therefore we'd get a reaction out of her. All right? But then, here's the thing. Based on the most recent tale, people then decided to have their say regarding her behavior. So I started reading some of these little things that I saw on Reddit, and then when I started reading them, I was like, you know what we're missing here, folks? We're missing more context. We're missing more details, more information on Manon. Is she really this person who has this main character syndrome? Is she really this person who really is a narcissist? Is she really about me rather than us? And that us being herself, her husband, and her child. Well, first things first, we're going to get into what people had to say on Reddit. And then we're going to get into the information that I was then able to find that can then really help you guys have your final decision on how you want to view Manon. Is she somebody that really is a narcissist that's all about herself? Or is she someone that's actually more than that? Well, like I said, let's get into this one. So this person says, what do you mean this isn't the Manon show? Which is a very good question. And down the bottom here, this person says everything about Manon and how she feels. When she started crying, saying, I guess I'm a bad mom, a wife, etc. It gave me classic narcissistic vibes, wanting all the pity. Nothing is ever her fault. When she said she was running for mayor, I laughed so hard, ridiculous. I mean, listen, let's call it what it is. When she said I was running for mayor, I was hella surprised to hear her say that. Because my thing is, what makes her believe that she could be a good candidate for mayor? What makes her believe that she could really convince people that, hey, I'm good enough for this town or city or whatever it is? Because so far, we've seen nothing about her that's really given us the inkling that she's somebody who can convince anybody to be Team Manon. But then I thought about it. We know that she's somebody who is a influencer on IG. We know that she's always had this brand of plus size clothing, you know, really trying to target women of plus size, women that are curvy, which of course to me is very subjective. I don't think some people know the difference between curvy, plus size, obese. Just, yeah, but who am I, eh? So, maybe she thinks because she's been able to gather women over the course of her years on social media, because she's been able to gather women of obviously the plus size community to obviously make them feel beautiful, make them feel some type of way, and she's been able to profit it. Maybe she now does believe that she has this talent where she's able to convince people that she should be the right person to become the mayor of the small town or area that she lives in France. Who knows? But again, though, when somebody has main character syndrome, they won't see things otherwise. When somebody has narcissistic energy, traits, vibes, they wouldn't see it any other way. They will always believe that people are going to pick for them no matter what. That is the whole idea of being narcissist, that you don't see reality, all you see is what you want to see. Now, of course, someone come in here with comments. Some of the comments are really, really good, but this person says she has some serious problems. At the end, when she was leaving and said, have fun, Chloe, Greta are single, to Anthony, like, this man can't even talk to other women in his family. Manon needs to be the only female in his life. She's so insecure. She thinks everyone is talking bad about her and that Anthony would talk to other girls once she's left. But if she didn't act that way, if she didn't act the way she does, no one would have a reason to potentially talk bad about her. She's literally giving people reasons to be stressed and need to talk about it with someone. And here's the thing, people that generally believe that somebody's talking bad about them, those people generally know that they give reasons for people to talk bad about them. So the fact that she has this mindset, this belief that people talk about her when she's not in the room, that people want her man when she's not in the room, clearly says that one, well, she probably thinks her man really is the prize and other women want her. And also on top of that, she's very self-aware that people don't like her because of the way she is. So really and truly, when you have that type of mentality, there's only one simple thing that you need to do. You need to just do better. Fix your attitude, fix your approach, make people actually want to like you, make people actually want to make yourself comfortable enough to know that when you're not there, people are saying good things about you rather than bad things about you. All I'm saying is that it says a whole lot about somebody. Now, on top of that, there was also another post that I also came across. Manon getting what she deserves. Now, of course, this is people again talking about the terror and her behavior. So this person says this was an awful woman. This awful woman got exactly what she deserved. She had to sit there and listen to everyone point out how God awful she is. How unacceptable everything she says and does is. Then she went backstage, threw a fit and attacked her husband. She shits on him and treats him like a doormat. Then makes him feel like a bad guy. Good riddance. Of course, people are happy with the fact that she walked off the table, but obviously people now have the hopes that she won't be there for the part 2 of the tale next week. I mean, listen, to be honest, let's be real. She's probably going to come back, especially given the fact that she has main character syndrome and given the fact that she's paranoid that other women are going to want her man. Of course she's going to come back. Narcissists never leave to not come back. They always leave to have the last word. And let's be real, if the cameras are still rolling, she wants the spotlight. She wants the Manon show. Can you tell me otherwise? Now, of course, this person came in and says, as far as Terrell goes, I thought the rest of the cast were pretty tame on her. I agree. I don't think they were really that bad. Mostly because they probably couldn't get a word in edgeways. But regardless, to be fair, that's a very, very strong point. She got barely half of what she deserves, in my opinion. The unstuck of Anthony and his side, and that was absolutely warranted. Absolutely warranted. Yes, I do agree. So far, is anything that you guys actually disagree with, or is anything that's missing? Please do let me know in the comment section. But then this is the point now. I'm going to show you all the things I was able to find on Manon. So I was like, listen, I need to find out more information about her. Whether it's information that is good, whether it's information that's bad. I just feel like we need to really get more detail so we can really paint that picture of, is she really a narcissist? Is she really all about Manon? Well, here's the thing. After obviously looking around and whatnot, I came across a website that I don't know if she still runs it, but I don't think she does, because as you can see here, she looks a lot younger back then, even though it is heavily airbrushed. And then also on top of that, when I clicked on these links here, the Facebook page doesn't exist anymore, the Twitter page does not exist anymore. To be fair, I didn't click on the Instagram page purely because, well, she is on Instagram, right? The YouTube page, on the other hand, that does still exist, which we'll get to in a second. So as you can see, welcome to my world. Okay, and obviously as you can see, she even puts her name there, Manon Edwards, body positivity advocate, Los Angeles to Paris plus size influencer. Be proud of who you are and not ashamed of how someone else sees you. And of course, translate the same thing in French. So here, she's obviously just talking simply about herself, because when it comes to talking about herself, that's something that she's very good at. Now, the only thing that I would say is I think she just featured on this website that is obviously a website that involves plus size women, or curvy women actually. So it says chicks with curves. So it's not her as a specifically, but either way though, Manon took an opportunity to put herself on a website, so therefore she can talk about herself, which is very key to the rest of this video. Now, of course, after clicking on the YouTube page itself in particular, this is where it took me. So as you can see, she definitely did have a YouTube page, and she has not used it for the past 3 years. And obviously, just to give you guys context of what the YouTube page was about, obviously, as you can see, this is all about obviously herself in particular, in terms of trying on clothes, I guess probably talking about being plus size, skincare. The whole thing that she basically does now on TikTok and her IG is basically what her page was about. But I believe maybe because she wasn't getting the following that she wanted, maybe that is why she decided to obviously call it in and obviously, you know, get rid and obviously stop uploading if I do so say myself. So this is another little aspect of herself in picture. So far, we've seen two things. One, she was on a website where she spoke about herself. Two, she's got her YouTube page, which is about herself, which is completely fine because that's what vloggers do. They talk about themselves and etc. etc. Nothing too bad about it. But then also another thing that we came across here is that she was also a part of some sort of show with guest Manon Edwards. Now, of course, this is still from the same website I was just on a second ago, at Chick with Curves. So as you can see, she's definitely got herself about, you know, really getting invested in areas that I guess can make her feel good and make her still talk about herself and still allow herself to be known. Then things got a little bit more interesting, because this is when I discovered that her and Anthony actually have a business together, which definitely took me by storm. I was like, the same man that she's always complaining that cannot get a job, she's always complaining about the fact that he doesn't bring anything in, but yet they actually have a business together, or maybe had one together. So here's the thing. Then came across this Instagram page itself in particular here, where as you can see, Berry Brand Agency, okay? Helping businesses and creators grow social media, influencer, and digital marketing solutions since 2015. And at founder Manon Edwards. Now, this is the thing that I found quite interesting. The founder was only herself. And to be fair, it looks to me as if this is an old IG page, because of course this is Manon Edwards. Obviously now she's obviously Manon Berryman. So this is a website that she maybe made before she was married. I don't know, but either way though, it's something that she partnered up with her husband Anthony. So it makes me wonder, why would you have a whole storyline talking about how he can't get work, how he's not providing, but yet you two actually had a whole business together? Either way though, this is obviously based in 2015. So of course, after clicking the link itself in particular, went over to the website itself, which I found rather interesting, to be fair. All in agency helping local businesses with their digital marketing. And the thing that I found quite fascinating on it was that meet your experts, Manon Berryman and Anthony Berryman. Sorry, can somebody tell me, experts at what? I mean, Anthony has shown himself to not be an expert at anything, but of course, as you can see here, there's obviously detailed information regarding what they do and obviously who they are. Obviously, Manon is their CEO, and of course, and the co-founder of Berry Brand Agency, BBA. Okay, her early career as a real estate agent / owner in Marseille, France, was built upon the power of online marketing. The official website. The official web-based agency at the time is 2012, so which is quite interesting, because I thought, when did she actually move to LA? Because this is quite interesting given the fact that this is backdated to 2012. Because of course, in the storyline itself in particular, we was made to believe that she's moved to LA a very long time ago, met her husband in LA, and obviously, based on the show context, going back to Marseille, well, it's kind of like the first time she went back there properly since moving. So that part does really make you wonder what is really going on with these two. Then also, as you can see, she talks about other different things. She partnered with Gels, the French jugo, to rapidly grow her business. Blah-di-da-di-da, da-da-da-da-da. And obviously everything was all about how she also launched her body positivity campaign, Instagram, etc., etc. And then, of course, you've got a husband and stuff in particular, where you're looking at it thinking, okay, so he's the co-founder. Of course he is. He's an honored veteran who served in the army 2011 to 2015 and was deployed to Malaysia, Japan, and Afghanistan of 2012. Having worked in the areas of customer service and private security for several years, he has been looking for a career change. That's when he decided to join with his wife to start a BBA, and they have been working together ever since to create and expand their business over 4 years, extensive training involving world digital marketing, etc., etc. I mean, to be fair with you, this does sound really, really good. But where's the progress? This is where things get rather interesting, to be honest with you, right? Either way, like I said before, this whole time we've been made to believe that this man has never had a job pretty much most of the time, when in reality, these two had a whole business together this whole time. Obviously, I'm assuming, my assumption is that Manon has jumped from job to job, that she has created herself, which is fantastic. But each time one has failed, she's then created a new one. And I believe the reason why she obviously came on 90 Day Fiancé was for a very simple reason, simply to get some promo. Because let's not forget, once she was on 90 Day Fiancé, she then created one more other business, didn't she now? And that's the business of her selling soap. Her selling soap and body lotion stuff, all that kind of stuff, okay? And remember, we spoke about this before in a previous post, upload should I say, where obviously she made a video talking about how people were mocking her for only selling 200 or less than 200 sales or something like that, which, to be fair, was nothing but just a marketing scheme, if you ask me personally, just to get more traffic towards her page. So really and truly, one thing that we do know for sure is that Manon has definitely made it known in the show that she's a hard-working woman who can always thrive, and Anthony ain't shiz. When in reality, maybe it's a bit different, but either way though, I do respect the work ethic. I do respect the fact that she has this hustle in her. But one thing that I don't respect is the fact that she'll start something, but then when it doesn't work, she then quits it and then goes to something else. How are you really going to succeed if you can never really stabilize yourself in one place? To be fair, and then also on top of that, I don't know if this is related to this business stuff in particular, but another information, this information was actually sent to me, to be fair with you folks. To be fair, all of it was sent to me. I'm not gonna lie to you folks. I always get hope for my peeps in the States. I just ask a question and they go digging and they help and then they find something, which is fantastic. And also here, something that was quite interesting regarding the Berry brand itself in particular was that they got to a point where there was obviously jobs reported was 15. Now prior to this, they had jobs reported to 12, and then obviously it was 12, which then was a payroll of 12,000 something. Then obviously the following year or the following year after, whatever, it then went up to 17, as you can see right now, with jobs reported being 15 rather than 12 itself in particular. So again, this also kind of shows me that she is this strong person, it seems to me that she's somebody who will start something but will never actually fulfill it, which is quite sad because what happens in the end is she ends up putting that pressure on Anthony, but most importantly, she ends up also putting that pressure on her son. Because let's talk about it. Why has she not been that active in her son's life? If you ask me personally, it's because each time, look at it this way, if she started a business and then she stuck with it for literally a long time and was able to get stability within that job, that means should be able to have a good what do you call it, a good schedule of when she's going to work and when she's going to spend time with her child. But because she starts something and then quits something, then starts and quits something, that means her schedule is always changing, and her whole schedule is prioritizing her starting a new business rather than her actually being a mother to her son. So really and truly, after 90 Day Fiance, even though she's got this business now of selling soap and body care, whatever, and she's still doing her IG stuff, it makes you really wonder, once that stuff stops, what's gonna happen? She's gonna do return to 90 Day again, and then promote something else new again. Either way, if you ask me personally, for somebody who claims to be a massively successful business person, I'm not saying that she's not, but I'm witnessing more of a quitter more rather than a winner. But that's just me. Either way, though, let me know your thoughts down below. I just wanted to give you guys a more bigger perspective of who Manon is based on the things I was able to find. These are things that obviously anyone can find on the internet anyway. You know what I mean? None of this stuff is in any shape or form to deform a character or anything like that nonsense. It's just, let's just say, hey guys, this is what we found. Based on what you already know, what do you think now? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.